Welcome to Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield. I'm the Get Fit Guy, and in last week's article and episode, I gave you the exact recipes for two pretty epic smoothies, and exactly what my current morning smoothie recipe looks like. Well, in today's episode, we're going to take a deep dive into some of the most interesting, fringe, and tastiest superfood ingredients I've discovered lately to truly bring your smoothie taste and nutritional benefits to the next level. So, let's just jump right in. The first is raw organic golden Incan berries by a company called Sun Food. Golden berries are considered to be one of the lost crops of the Incas and one of the small selection of foods grown at the ancient mountaintop citadel of Machu Picchu. A nutritional powerhouse, golden berries have vitamin C and A, iron, pectin, beta-carotene, protein, bioflavonoids, and niacin, and this mouth-watering tangy sweetness that you'll love. My kids love them too, by the way. I've tried a lot of golden berries, and these ones by Sun Food are by far the best because they're soft and plump and sweet, and they have this delightful chewy quality and a complex floral citrusy flavor like kumquats and tangerines and roses. Amazing. Number two is 100% dark chocolate by a company called Fruition. Now, in a recent podcast interview with a guy named Kevin Rose over at bengreenfieldfitness.com/Kevin, Kevin and I dig into some of his favorite superfoods, and his top recommendation was this raw cacao bar made in New York City. Now, after interviewing him, I just had to try this Fruition chocolate for myself, so I began to order and break up a quarter bar of the stuff into my morning smoothie as an alternative to the cacao nibs that I used to use. Now, Kevin wasn't wrong. This is some of the most flavorful, antioxidant-packed chocolate I've ever had in my life. It hails from the Dominican Republic and Peru, and their 100% cacao-only bar is not for the faint of heart, who might be used to eating the average Hershey's or Snickers bar, but once your palate adjusts, you'll find this bar crackles with vibrant flavor. They're organically produced, bean-to-bar production. They've got the most wonderful chocolate flavor you'll ever experience. They definitely fall into a smoothie essential ingredient. Number three are raw spirulina crunchies, also by Sun Food. Now, spirulina is a freshwater microvegetable that gets its name from its microscopic spiral shape. It's been eaten by many cultures throughout history, and if you could go back in time to visit the Aztecs, you'd find them using ropes to skim spirulina from the surface of lakes and ponds, and then set that algae out to dry and make these tiny little nourishing superfood cakes. Now, a breakthrough in molecular gastronomy has occurred on this little algae farm in Costa Rica, resulting in a product that produces this super healthy spirulina, but tastes basically like Pringles potato chips. And yes, you heard me right. So remember when you used to eat those oh-so-processed, salty, fatty chips without much remorse? Well, those days might be over now that you're all healthy, but you can still get daily intake of these spirulina crunchies, which somehow manage to explode in the mouth with the exact same flavor profile as a Pringle. Now, I will link to this and everything else that I talk about if you just go to quickanddirtytips.com and look for this episode number 329. But these crunchies aren't Pringles. They're crunchy little bits of 100% pure spirulina, which is a renowned source of protein, chlorophyll, trace minerals, vitamin, antioxidants, and also a really good immune system booster and excellent at detoxifying radioactive particles and maintaining your body's alkaline pH. So these crunchies are 100% non-GMO, they're grown and processed without the use of pesticides or fertilizers, and they're rigorously tested to make sure they don't have pollutants in them, like pesticides and heavy metals and bacteria. Okay, next up are raw organic goji berries, also by Sun Food. Now, goji berries have 18 different amino acids and 8 essential amino acids, and they're one of the highest antioxidant-containing fruits in the world, with 2 to 4 times the amount of antioxidants you'd find in blueberries. They're a great source of trace minerals like zinc, iron, copper, calcium, and phosphorus, and also vitamin B1, B2, B6, and vitamin E. Now, while fortifying the immune system and helping to stimulate the body to produce more natural growth hormone are two things that these can do, they can also increase the function of T cells and white cell interleukin 2, while uplifting your mood and increasing your appetite and satiation and encouraging better sleep patterns, even better optimism. All sorts of interesting studies on goji berries. Now, I've tried a lot, and I like these ones by Sun Food. They're plump and soft and flavorful and not like the hard, dry, bitter, crunchy little gojis you'll find out there. So try them out. You'll want to snack on these constantly, even after you've polished off your smoothie. Next are organic shelled Hemp seeds. Now, hemp seeds are nature's highest source of essential fatty acid, with more essential fatty acid than flax or any other nut or seed when it comes to plants. Now, hemp has a 3-to-1 ratio of omega 6 and omega 3 fatty acid and can help with preventing heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cancer, arthritis, and a lot more. They contain phytonutrients, which helps to boost immunity and purify the skin and strengthen connective tissue, and they're very high in protein. More protein than milk or meat or eggs, with all 20 amino acids, including the 9 essential amino acids your body can't produce. Hemp is also really high in fiber, a great source of essential minerals like magnesium and manganese and iron. And the magnesium in it is especially high. That means it's good for things like osteoporosis and weak bones or teeth, heart disease, migraines, muscle spasms, painful menstrual periods, and even diabetes. I get a few tablespoons of hemp seeds every day, and I like to put them in my smoothie. And then all the other goodness just kind of comes along for the ride. I like hemp seeds made by this company called Nativa. They do certified organic hemp seeds without chemical pesticides, without herbicides, without the chemical fertilizers used on a lot of hemp seeds. And they're raw too. They cold process them, which means they cook them at under 104 degrees. So they're raw and live. And then they remove the hard shells, giving you these delicious organic shelled hemp seeds. So next are toasted unsweetened coconut flakes. These are the next best thing to fresh coconut. No added sweeteners, no flavorings. You just get the pure nutty taste of tropical fruit. You can sprinkle them on yogurt, stir them into hot oatmeal, add them to trail mix, etc. But of course, I add them to smoothies. And they've got a surprising amount of protein, a huge amount of dietary fiber, and they're also an excellent source of iron, which is the crucial component of hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells responsible for getting oxygen to each part of your body. Now, without enough iron, your cells don't get sufficient oxygen, which can lead to weakness and fatigue, and you also need adequate amounts of iron for your immune system. And coconut flakes also have zinc, which is a mineral crucial to the strength and health of your immune system as well. And it plays a critical role in wound healing. So you can just take these little organic, unsweetened coconut flakes, sprinkle them on for added crunch to your smoothie, and voila, instant fiber, protein, and beyond. Next are chia seeds, and the profile of chia seeds is as stunning as their voluptuous mouthfeel. So they have this nutty, perfect little taste for smoothies. They were revered by the early Aztec and Mayan cultures, and that's because they're a superfood packed with fiber, protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants. Now, if you like their tapioca-like texture, you'll want to keep from tossing them into a powerful blender and instead add them to your smoothie after blending. But if you want a smooth, thick, creamy texture without a lick of dairy, a blender will transform chia gel instantly. And I like the Nativa chia seeds because they plump up really well and they have a perfectly delicate taste. Chia seeds have about 20% protein, 34% fat, and 25% fiber, the highest omega-3 nutrient source found in nature, with perfectly balanced omega-3, 6, and 9 ratios, and they're loaded with antioxidants, calcium, vitamins, and minerals. They give you stamina, endurance, and they reduce cravings because they absorb so much water and have such a high amount of soluble fiber levels. That means they help release natural, unrefined carbohydrate and fatty acid energy slowly into your bloodstream. Next are mulberries, and I've been using the organic white mulberries, also by Sunfood. So what the heck is a mulberry? Well, it's the fruit of a group of trees known as moras that produce silk, and the berries can be multiple colors, but I'm talking about the Chinese white mulberry, which is a golden pale fruit with a mild flavor and a huge load of nutrition. So mulberries are sweet, uniquely delicate berries bursting with flavor and a ton of vitamin C. They come from these deciduous trees that are so hardy and fast-growing that people began to cultivate them all over the world. And in addition to vitamin C, they're rich in iron, calcium, potassium, and vitamin A. They're like nature's candy because they're sweet and really fragrant. They're also chock full of fiber. They have huge amounts of phenolic flavonoid phytochemicals called anthocyanins, resveratrol, which is another very potent antioxidant, some amount of vitamin A, some amount of vitamin E, but also things that really help with your nervous system and your eyes and your brain, like lutein, zeaxanthin, beta-carotene, and alpha-carotene. They also are an excellent source of iron, which is pretty rare among berries. They contain about 23% of your recommended daily intake of iron. They're a really good source of minerals like potassium, manganese, and magnesium, and they're rich in the B complex group of vitamins as well as vitamin K, which is rare to find among berries. So check them out. They're called mulberries, and I like the one by Sunfood that are called organic white mulberries. And again, I'll put links to all my favorites over at quickanddirtytips.com. Just look for this episode 329. And then there is, finally, 100% cracked cell wall chlorella. I get this in the form of chewy edible tablets called recovery bits, and chlorella is a single-celled freshwater microalgae that has the highest known quality of chlorophyll found in nature. It has a chemical structure very similar to hemoglobin, and because of these properties, it can carry oxygen around in the blood and increase your red blood cell count. And recent research shows that a combination of chlorophyll in your bloodstream and exposure to sunlight can even allow you to produce ATP without actually eating any calories. Now, compared to other commercial sources of chlorophyll like wheatgrass, barley, and alfalfa, which you'll find in a lot of greens powders, chlorella has 5 times more chlorophyll than wheatgrass, 12 times more than barley, and 10 times more than alfalfa. And it has extreme photosynthetic efficiency from the very, very high levels of chlorophyll in it. Because it has a lot of RNA and DNA content, it might have an anti-aging effect too, and prevent a lot of the chronic degenerative illnesses associated with getting older. The indigestible cellulose on chlorella's cell wall can attract and bind with heavy metals like lead and mercury and cadmium as well, and help to remove those from your body, which means chlorella is a good way to reverse the damage from environmental pollutants and toxins. In addition to leaching metals, it can help you remove things like pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides, and can also have a protective effect on your liver, which is your body's most valuable toxin filtering organ, of course. So, those are my 9 favorite superfood essentials to add to a smoothie. Let's review. Golden Incan berries, 100% dark chocolate, raw spirulina crunchies, raw organic goji berries, organic shelled hemp seed, toasted unsweetened coconut flakes, organic chia seeds, organic white mulberries, and cracked cell wall chlorella. Now, after hearing this 2-part episode, your head might be spinning with ideas for your smoothie that go far above and beyond simple ho-hum ingredients like ice, spinach, bananas, and milk. Well, now's your chance to go out, have fun, and create your own flavorful, highly nourishing recipes that you've discovered in this epic smoothie series. And this is episode number 328 and 329 over at quickanddirtytips.com if you want to access the show notes. Now, I'd love to hear more about the smoothie recipes you create. So if you have your own recipes or more questions, comments, or feedback, then you can join the conversation over at facebook.com/getfitguy. That's facebook.com/getfitguy. And until next time, bon appetit. And I'm Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.